Well, why Croydon? When we were first looking around, we were looking to do a speculative building somewhere around London. We created certain factors in terms of what was going to determine our choice. Communications was a key factor because we've always found that good communications is a very good support for speculative office development. But the most important thing for us is demand. And when we looked at Croydon, we could identify immediately two very, very strong areas of demand. One obvious one, there's about 8 million square foot of offices in Croydon and none of it's new. And there's going to be a lot of tenants coming to the end of leases and they're going to be looking around for somewhere good. And they're also going to be looking for different products. So they're going to be looking for big floor plate buildings, 20,000 square foot floor plates, but also lower buildings. The days sometimes of tenants wanting office towers, pure office towers, have changed, whereas mixed towers are fine, pure office towers have probably seen their day. So we thought, there's certainly demand locally, but actually there's a really, really obvious level of demand. Whether John's optimism about the curve going up, the economic curve going up, or whether the economic curve is flat, there's one thing that's absolutely clear, which is businesses now are much more conscious of their bottom line. They're going to have to look and see how they can be more efficient and where they're spending money, which they could really save on, where they could actually do something in a much better way. And Croydon provides an amazing answer to central London expenses. If you are a company, a big company in central London, running any form of administrative function, why are you running it in central London? Our office building in Croydon is going to be leased at £22 a foot. You will be paying probably 3 times as much in central London for your administration. Your staff don't live in central London, they won't be able to afford to, so they're probably coming from Croydon in the first place. And so there's a very, very obvious area of demand for Croydon, and we see that as something that could very quickly gain momentum. The initiatives both on the retail side and on the residential side will clearly support that. If you can actually save getting on that train, and whilst it is 16 minutes into central London, if you can actually have your job in Croydon, that's going to be very attractive. And I think companies are going to increasingly look at Croydon as the place that was overlooked and the place that is best suited for this type of level of inward investment. So a very big target for us is central London. And it's interesting, in talk we've been doing quite a lot of presentations to agents covering different aspects of the London market. And I think it's a message that's beginning to get through, because it's actually something that agents particularly can go to their clients with an idea. They don't have to wait for their clients to ring them. They can actually go to their clients and say, we can knock a third off your occupation costs and probably save you some money on your staff costs because you won't have to pay transport for your staff or an equivalent wage. You can actually pay slightly less because they're not having to travel to work. So there's a really, really strong office message in Croydon, and certainly as a developer, and I've been developing 28 years, Croydon is one of the most exciting opportunities I've seen, and I believe we're going to be doing more than just one building there. At the moment we're in for planning for a building of 100,000 square foot. It's a simple building, 5 stories. It'll be BREEAM excellent because that's what people should be looking at, and that's the 2011 rules, not the 2008 rules. And it'll be £22 a foot. But there's a lot more in Croydon, and the Ruskin Square scheme is a really excellent opportunity. And whilst it may take us to act a little bit as a catalyst to wake people up to Croydon, the opportunities that Croydon will offer to occupiers and other developers are very, very obvious. And I think Croydon's going to have a very successful few years. Thank you.